Hello, ghouls and fools. Welcome to a very scary Halloween episode of Chaos.
Ooh. I forgot because this is October. That we're spooky scary.
Always timely, Chaos is.
We're not timely, but we are on topic. But at the same time, this is the only time that we can do it because we have to do all the songs, you know?
We have to do all the songs. We'll never be able to record within the month.
No.
But this is October's episode. A lot of songs came out. Trust us on that. Also trust that we won't be discussing them all.
No.
Maybe that's for the year-end podcast. Who knows? Well, no. Not discussing all the songs. I mean, talking about songs that weren't mentioned monthly. Let me not get ahead of myself. But, you know.
But usually we don't talk about songs because they're mid and boring.
I have a confession.
Yeah.
I tend to reveal a lot when I like a song, so there have been many songs that I've said, nah, skip it, because I like them a lot and thought they would be at my top 25 and didn't want to spoil too much.
Wow, it's sneaky. Yeah, I've done no such thing.
See? That's good for you. I like my things to remain mysterious.
Well, I don't know if that's true. But you like to reel it in on occasion.
I like to reel it in, but I've also had too many times where I've gone, this is going to be on my top 25.
That's what I'm saying. You have to reel it in. Because you've done too much.
I reel it in by saying, don't talk about it at all. But let's begin the month with one of our favorite intersections as K-pop gamers. And that's K-pop and games. The month kicked off with NewJeans releasing Gods, which is the League World song from Worlds 2023. I don't know anything about League, but I listen to every Worlds song.
Mm-hmm. Got some good songs.
League has some good songs. Not always in Worlds, but in general. NewJeans was a choice, I think.
Girl, this was such a flop.
I think NewJeans was a choice.
This was NewJeans is a choice to begin with. I think for like what do you call it? Like a third party song, not on League's part, but on NewJeans' part. Like it's kind of a weird choice to have them do anything, and not everything can be Coca-Cola Machita. Mm-hmm. It's really weird to choose them for like as strategic as League of Legends can be for what is at the end of the day an action video game, and certainly for the most important event of the year for the e-sport is NewJeans a strange choice.
Yeah, I think so. And like I guess public opinion always differs depending on what circles you're in and what your perception of the public is. But I remember last year, a lot of people did not like that Lil Nas X did the World song.
I was just going to say, Lil Nas X I don't think is a bad choice because he can make something kind of fun and boppy and he can have like his hype moments. That song, just like this song, which is called Gods, by the way, which is weird because I thought it was called Play God because the chorus is once you play God like over and over again. So I don't know why it's called Gods and not Play God. But anyways, both of these songs are boring. They're really, really boring.
I like Star Walker, which is last year's song, when like you're in the car and it plays on the radio. I like it then.
Yes, they're both fine to listen to. They should not be the songs for the giant esport event of the largest esport in the world.
Yes.
Of the most important event of the year. And to have like the super energetic, like, okay, for anyone who doesn't know, every time there's a League of Legends World song, there will be an accompanying animated music video made by the official team at Riot Games, and it will always center on, it's one of two things. It's either a sort of dramatized thing of all the star players of this year's Worlds, and like, ooh, what could happen? And it shows them on their signature champions, and, you know, they're all like it mixes together like them as humans, and then sometimes they'll like transform into their champions that they're known for, or they'll have their weapons and they like fight it out and it's all cool and exciting. Or it'll be the story from the previous year if the story of the world's run was like, you know, this epic underdog story, or like so and so like finally got the crown after trying for years and years, or, you know, Faker the king, he's still reigning, whatever. Those are the two things. So it's usually pretty exciting and there's fighting going on, and that's the case for this one, but it still sounds like OMG or something. Like, yeah, it's so bland and weird.
It's kind of bland, and like I think combined with the visual for this year, which I thought was a little
wooden,
equally underwhelming.
I would agree, as someone who's watched all of them except for like the first one or two the year that they came out. Like I saw them the day they came out. I think that this one is pretty bland.
Yeah.
I don't like the animation style or the art style really at all. It seems like, you know, everybody and their mother is watching Chainsaw Man right now, and that manga has a very interesting art style, and the animated program is beautifully rendered but extremely boring looking. And it feels like they wanted to do that, but they didn't want to give them the budget that kind of studio would give them, because it's one music video.
Yeah.
You know? It looks not. It doesn't look as bad as like Previs, but it looks like the stage after that. Like the final touches and the shading has not been done, and like
it's super similar to God. What is that HBO show that everyone loves right now? Scavenger's Reign. It's really similar to that animation style, because with that Chainsaw Man, at the very least, when they were doing like high action sequences, that's when they'll spend the money on like ridiculous lighting, super cool effects, etc. But this just kind of stays flat throughout.
Right. But the thing is, at least Scavenger's Reign is like, number one, you know, it's 2D animated for the most part, and then it also has its own like unique kind of sci-fi art style. The majority of Gods, featuring NewJeans, is just the real world, or like floating platforms with a blue sky and nothing else to really look at or enjoy.
Yeah.
Like you don't even see champions in this, which is what's really weird. They go purely for the players defining the champions and just like holding their weapons. Sometimes as a League of Legends player and someone who's been playing League for a long time and following Worlds, there are things that happen in that music video that literally do not make sense. Like, there are abilities happening on the screen that do not belong to a single champion that is being depicted, which makes it very confusing to watch.
Yeah. As someone who only shows up once a year to listen to one or two songs, I would also say that just seeing a bunch of dudes in tracksuits LARPing isn't the most enjoyable experience.
I can like the LARPing style, especially if they go kind of like in between. Like there have been other world songs where it's like they're in a fantasy world and they're challenging each other, or it does depict them, you know, you die in the game, you die for real, and it's like when it goes back and forth and in between, that's good. But this is just they are in a fantasy world, but like they don't have any characteristics of the champions. They just are like holding their weapons. The thing that really does it is that the main character of last year's World Championship is called Deft. And Deft plays a position in League of Legends called ADC. ADCs are, for the Final Fantasy XIV Online people, ranged DPS. And so the thing is, it's League of Legends, set in the League of Legends universe. So almost without fail, every single ADC in League of Legends has either a gun or a crossbow. And every single champion that Deft played has a gun. So it's just Deft holding a gun all the time. And then maybe one of my favorite parts, I don't even know who this is because I can't tell because I start laughing. Someone is really big out of nowhere. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes. It's like, I guess it's supposed to be like this really like, oh, wow, monumentous, impactful moment, but it's just him but big. It's because the champion he's playing, Renekton, his ultimate makes him big, and then also comparatively to the champion that Deft is playing in that moment is very big, but they just scale him up. He's just like big for no reason. He looks like a giant zombie from Minecraft. Like he's just directly scaled up and just like go and like screaming into the camera, but he's just some guy. I don't know. This one was a flop start to finish, and NewJeans did not help. NewJeans did not help. And I remember because months ago, there were reports and photos of ATs being at the Riot Studios.
Right.
And everyone said, oh, fuck yeah, ATs for a world song, that's perfect. And then you get NewJeans. NewJeans, I love NewJeans. But the absolute, you experience thinking that ATs is going to show up and it's NewJeans?
The absolute energy vacuum compared to ATs is immense. I don't know.
So, sorry to League players.
We lost. What can I say? But we lose a lot.
I'd say that. Moving on. ONF, also known as On and Off, are back from the military. And they put out Love Effect, a new mini album, pretty quickly. But they were doing shit all throughout their military service, so that wasn't super surprising. This is very much an ONF song.
Mm-hmm. That's some good baby dance music.
Baby dance music, looking like they're filming for a Gap ad. That's ONF. They're back as if they never left.
As if they never left, but wider. Wyatt looks so much more masculine. Everybody does. But you see Wyatt, and before he was like the manly man of the group, and you're like, Jesus Christ, like he really did just come from the military. Like he must have gotten off the bus or the plane or whatever, and they just snatched him right up.
Right up. I do love that, like, going to the military and doing physical labor that's different from dancing, which is very cardio heavy. Like, you're going to get bigger, and everyone looks a little more, like you said, wider. But Wyatt truly is so funny in this group.
Because he's the rapper. I don't know if he can sing or not. I think he can sing okay from what I recall. But it's the classic K-pop thing. If you have the deep voice, you're the rapper. Nothing else matters. It doesn't matter how much you want to sing. It doesn't matter how good you are at singing. If you have the deep voice, you're the rapper. And Wyatt's personality does not match a rapper. And ONF's music is so baby that, like, he's playing a rapper baby girl extraordinaire. I don't know. They're a funny group.
It's so funny. And it's even funny because, like, Wyatt has a deep, like, cartoonish voice. And he really amps it up for the music. So it's just that little goofy part in a Barney song that really brings the babies back in. Once they start to kind of fade out.
He's what is that thing? Coco Melon.
The Coco Melon.
Just hypnotizing.
Who's that lady? Miss Jessie or whoever? Miss Jessica? Whoever the babies watch these days.
Oh, I know what you're talking. I saw people dressed as her for Halloween, but that's my only frame of reference for who Miss Jessica is.
Whatever her name is, that's Wyatt's goal. Also, can we talk about them dancing in the middle of what looks to be a store that is stylized very similarly to an Urban Outfitters?
Yes. Well, here's the thing, though. It reminded me... Oh, no, I'm going to forget their name. The group that sings One and Only, Boy Next Door.
Boy Next Door.
Theirs is more like a thrift store, I think, or like a vintage store. It looks a little bit nicer, but it's still kind of... It just looks like an upscale Urban Outfitters, where, you know, there's like exposed brick and then there's the lights on the ceiling with the industrial style. It's not dissimilar. For a second I wondered if it was the same store, but I don't think it is.
I think it's slightly different, but either way the feeling is different, because watching Boy Next Door I said, no, why are they dancing with the clothes? But watching ONF I said, no, this makes sense for them.
This makes sense because this is a Gap commercial.
It's the Gap commercial that ONF does approximately once a year.
Yes. Maybe more now that they're back and they don't have to worry about military service or nothing no more. RBW, despite being not a top 10, but bottom of the top 10 company, as we've mentioned before, they make some good decisions sometimes. Sometimes they're a little strategic.
They're pretty good with handling their groups, honestly. Even like the groups that they have acquired over the years, they're doing pretty good. Like we said, good enough to have fans, but not good enough to have hate trucks outside, and that's where you want to be.
Exactly. Nice EP, nice song. ONF usually delivers with the B-sides, and I think they did the same here. Although I don't have anything in particular to say, I just think it's nice.
Yeah, I feel similarly. We're going to move on to NCT 127.
Danny Hour.
We're going to move on to Danny Hour. I did not like baggy jeans. I love fact check.
For the record, I just want to say for the record, for this podcast, I make a spreadsheet and I update it throughout the month of all the songs that came out. And we highlight the songs that we are like definitely going to talk about. And sometimes I'll highlight things basically on Dani's behalf. I'm like, oh, I know she wants to talk about this. I live with Azalea now. And Azalea and Dani talk on the phone on speaker regularly. So tell me why Miss Dani had the audacity before we started the podcast to say, did you highlight fact check? As if she has not been singing it almost every single night since it came out.
One, I forget that I am on speaker when I'm talking to Azalea. And two, sometimes I just like to double check. I like to check my facts.
Oh, that was a good segue.
Thank you.
Good, bringing it back.
I'm whatever on this album. There are songs that have good parts, there are songs that have bad parts, whatever. Fact check, start to finish, top to bottom, love it. Mark and Taeyong really do the fucking work with this song.
Oh yeah, and this song, to an extent, every NCT song is made for Mark and Taeyong, but I think this song fits them a little bit better. I don't know what they did. I don't know what juice they put in it. It's not like my favorite NCT song ever, but I think it is just like, that's just what you want out of NCT. It's just a pure, nice, good, solid NCT song. It's what you want them to release as a title.
Yeah, and like oftentimes I'll like an NCT song, but I'm a little meh on the rap verses, and I'm like, no, the vocalists carry it. They're amazing. This was just meant for rappers.
I like the vocals in this a lot, though.
I do like the vocals
more than the rap.
Yeah, see, I like the rap a lot. There's a part towards the end where I think it's just Taeyong is on top of a building, but they're all kind of just suspended in space, and Mark and Taeyong are rapping on this like accelerating beat, and it gets my heart pumping so good.
Oh yeah, that part's really good. The raps earlier I'm not as big about, but yeah, they're in like a Jet Set Radio Future floating construction site building thing, but everyone's on different buildings, but you can't see each other. And Mark is wearing, I know it distinctly, he's wearing like a workwear inspired thing. So he's wearing like carpenter pants and a hoodie, and then he has a vest, like a storage vest on, and then one of those hats that has the flaps around the ears and the back to protect your neck. Except the vest and the hat are completely bejeweled and everything else is jet black. And it's so great and silly.
It's so silly. He's just bedazzled during all of his solo parts.
Out of nowhere, too. There's no other parts where there's really a lot of bedazzling going on.
No.
Taeyong isn't bedazzled.
Nope. It's just him. That's just his outfit. That does lead me into my next point, though. The fashion in this video specifically, and it's a complaint that I think I may have for a few NCT music videos and stage performances. I do not think NCT stylists dress NCT for the group. You'll have one or two people who look really good, usually just one, and it's Taeyong, because in his everyday life, I think he's a little more adventurous with how he dresses. And so he'll look really good, and the clothes will really fit him, and like he wears the clothes. Oh god, I sound like a fucking TLC special.
This week on What Not to Wear.
Exactly that.
It's a classic phrase for a reason, though, you know.
It's he wears the clothes, they don't wear him, whereas everyone else, it looks like they're just getting lost in fabric. Yeah,
there's a reason that I think it's Jaehyun, I might be wrong, is always just in a suit.
Don't know why. Just in a suit.
Like, he's a very handsome man. I think if they wanted to put him in something more adventurous, he probably could. But, like, no, put that vocalist in a suit, jet black suit, just have him sing. The other one is, Yuta, I think? He's usually wearing something pretty buck wild for his two lines that he has, and then he leaves. But it's like, it'll be the group dance, and no one in particular is necessarily standing out. And then it'll cut to Yuta's part, and he's wearing the most ostentatious, like, Elton John shit that I've ever seen. And then he's gone. And then he's back to normal clothes for the rest of the video. It's a bizarre microcosm of the NCT universe.
It is. And because there are so many outfits in this fact check video, it really stands out. And so I thought I'd mention it.
No, yeah, I feel that. So some of the group costumes are more successful than others. I think the red, white, and blue ones are pretty terrible across the board.
Horrible.
The all white ones are fine. I mean, they're just like cool all white, kind of Y2K-ish, like rap outfits. They look nice.
Mm-hmm. It's fine. But yeah, that's all I had. That's all I wanted to bring up.
That's fair.
I love the song. There are a lot of weird art references in there.
Banksy and the Louvre and the Lisa.
Mona Lisa's in there. I think there's like one other. I don't get it, but I'm never going to understand the lyrics of like an SM group.
No,
so
no.
I don't focus on it anymore.
You've been beaten down.
Yeah, I have. There comes a point in every NCitizens. No, is that? Yeah, that's.
Yeah, NCitizen.
No, I think that's what they're called.
Yeah, well, because it's like netizen, but the E is replaced with a C.
See, but then I always thought it was just SHINee or something like that, and I just say NCitizen.
I thought NCitizen was real, but maybe that's like it's not the official name. But I see that a lot.
Oh,
too much for me to believe that.
There's
that's not real.
The fandom name is NCitizen, but then they have a nickname. Okay, so NCitizen it is. Let's move on to the next major group of the month, TXT.
Oh yeah, full album.
Oh, is this a full album?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, full album. If that's the case, this is probably the last album in the name chapter.
Yeah, I'm not super sure, but I definitely got that impression. I will say, you sound mildly confused, and if you were, it would not surprise me because this rollout has been so weird.
Yes,
the Jonas Brothers song, and then the song with Anita. Which the Jonas Brothers song really seemed like a random single. It didn't seem connected to anything. And then the Anita single came out, and I was like, wait, are these part of like an album? And then they started to announce like the next chapter in the name chapter.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is happening? Okay. What's even the concept between these two songs that don't seem the same at all? Anyways.
Nothing, because the Jonas Brothers song is on the album. And I think the Anita song is on the album without Anita?
Without her. Yes, it's his TXT version.
That's so rude.
It is so rude, but also let me double check, but I'm pretty sure they also have the version without the Jonas Brothers. But that one doesn't even say TXT version. So there's Do It Like That normal, and then Do It Like That featuring the Jonas Brothers, which came out first. And then there's Back for More featuring Anita, and then on the album is Back for More TXT version. Because we're normal.
Okay, I see.
That's a normal thing to do.
Okay, I see.
K-pop is so stupid.
Listen, people always say that, like, oh, look at Big Hit's influence on, like, their subsidiary groups. I don't think that's true. You can see Big Hit's influence with TXT, their actual group, though. Very much. I'll leave it alone for now. And we could just talk about the song for now, which is Chasing That Feeling. Lotus, you start.
I like this song. I think it's good.
Okay, maybe.
This music video sucks.
Okay.
I didn't like it the first time I listened to it, though. But I didn't try to Stockholm Syndrome myself. Because I said, well, I should still listen to the whole album. I usually like TXT. And I was like, oh, I like it more now. I mean, the most negative thing I have to say, other than the fact that the music video is boring and ugly, they just, like, blocked off a couple of streets in New York or something and just filmed there and have this ugly CGI that vaguely seems to connect to the lore. I don't know, whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
Is that, like, this is a bad The Weeknd song, but
yes.
I like a lot of Weeknd songs, so that's probably why I like it. I think the thing that really saves it is the vocal performances from Hyuning and Taehyun. And yeah, I think it's solid. It's not the best song on this album by a lot.
Okay, I agree with most of that. I agree actually with all of that. except I don't think I like the song. But
I was gonna say, I don't remember if you like The Weeknd or not. I think it's Azalea who does not like The Weeknd.
The thing is, Azalea doesn't like The Weeknd, but likes a lot of Weeknd sounding songs. I like The Weeknd. I don't like a lot of Weeknd sounding songs.
I see.
So, like, this song, like, a lot of Keys music as well falls into that.
Yes, it really does.
So I think that's maybe why I'm not in love with it. But I also know that I've liked past TXT singles and B-sides so much that when a song is just meh to me,
right,
it feels like it's worse than it actually is.
We kind of inadvertently grade them on a curve because we actually like them, which, you know, it comes with the territory sometimes. Sorry you're so successful, TXT.
Sorry about it. But that's what happens.
What can you do? Have you listened to the rest of the album?
Yes, I have. There's like a little baby song on the album that I like.
Oh yeah, I think that's Something Spring.
Right?
Blue Spring, maybe? That doesn't sound right. Blue Spring sounds like a mattress that sponsors like ASMR.
Happily Ever After.
Oh yeah, that one's good too.
Blue Spring is a song though on there.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
I will say, I do like the TXT only versions of both Do It Like That and Back for More. Back for More a lot more.
Yeah.
I think Azalea and I were talking about this, but clearly, like, SHINee did not used to be one of the major singers of TXT at all. Like, it was clear that Taehyun was the lead vocalist, and then everyone else could sing, but there was, like, no really kind of particular vibe. Like, sometimes they'd have Yeonjun do something, but it was less about, like, the technical proficiency of the singing and more about the character of it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And between the last EP or album or whatever and this one, it feels like they said, Hyuning, get in that fucking booth and you're doing vocal lessons for the rest of the year. Because especially on Growing Pain and Back for More, he's gone into more of that like really aggressive raspy singing and he does it very, very well, I think. I like it.
Yeah. I agree. I think it just took time for him to, you know, not be like 15 years old.
Right, for his
and
voice
actually
to drop
like
completely.
have a voice.
For him to be pubescent. Yeah.
Yep. That was it. I like it a lot. And I do. Like you said, I also like the B-sides a bit more than the single. And like you said, I think this music video is bad.
Bad and boring. Not bad and bougie, bad and boring.
Bad and boring. I watched like 30 seconds of it and I said, no. I need to listen to the song by itself first.
It looks like, I don't know if you would know this because this might be a little after your time, but it looks like a American Yokai Watch commercial.
Jesus
because
Christ.
Yokai Watch was only ever popular in Japan because Americans for the most part don't know what yokai are, so like it just never took off. And so like the really low budget commercial like Bakugan too, of like trying to get the kids into, because the CGI is I mean it's god awful, it's terrible. So it looks very low budget. It looks like something they do for Yokai Watch try to come to America.
Yeah, you have it.
I have it.
You have it.
The rest is good though. Oh, except this album's fugly.
Yeah, this album's
physical album
ugly.
Hideous. I thought like I could kind of get the you know, that weird papery like not cardboard thing that they were doing on oh no, I just forgot what it's called, but with Good Boy Gone Bad, where like I get it, you're going for like the grungier look, and especially with some of the photo shoots and some of the outfits, like they're supposed to look kind of trashy and they take place in an alley and it's a much grungier album overall. I get it. This album has its kind of punk 80s thing going on, and it makes zero sense. The color scheme of like dingy cardboard brown, paint white, and bright cobalt blue, I don't get it at all. It doesn't look good. I feel like I could rip apart all of those albums with one hand, and I don't like them at all.
Yeah, overall. Okay, so there's only been 2 named chapter albums, Temptation and Freefall, this one.
Oh, right, because Sugar Rush Ride album is its own,
That's Temptation.
Right.
Yeah, it's ugly. Another thing, TXT, since they have been so successful and have really, like, solidified it? Is that what I just said?
I wasn't going to say nothing.
Solidified themselves as a group that, like, does a concept pretty well with their, like, every roughly 3 albums is a sort of concept.
Mm-hmm.
They did it so well in the past that now it feels a little disconnected and weird. And, like, maybe we should just leave it alone. Stop the chapters and such.
Maybe we should dump it all together. Because the sound... I could, like, vaguely kind of see how the sound carries over, but not really. Because now it feels like they're alternating instead, which is more confusing, not less.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know about all that.
Yep. So...
Get on it, Hybe.
Hybe? Figure it out. Throw in a mini-sode and then start all over.
Uh-huh.
Oh, this next one is a Dani pick.
Yeah, I guess the room should know that.
The room should know that this next one is a Dani pick and not a Lotus and Dani pick. But I want to talk about IVE. Because I thought that I was never going to be an IVE kind of girl. And I'm still not.
You did.
But I said...
But you said it wouldn't even be possible.
I said it's not possible. They're just not going to make money or music that I like.
They're making plenty of money.
That was a bad slip.
Freudian.
Freud? But they released IVE Mine. I hate the way they thought it was called
that. Like, IVE, I think was funny. That's funny to do once, but now we need to stop.
At the very least, IVE, well, I guess IVE makes sense too. Technically, I have IVE. Because it's always it's always a contraction. Either way.
I have IVE makes sense. I think we're playing kind of fast and loose with the English language.
Oh, well, yeah, we are. Well, yeah, we are. But it makes a little sense. But IVE Mine came out, and if I remember correctly, I do like every song.
It sounds like you're saying Hive Mind with a British accent, and now I can't stop hearing it. The IVE Mine. We've got to kill the queen. Get rid of the IVE Mine.
The IVE Mine.
All right, I'm sorry for interrupting. I just had to.
I like all 6 songs on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, wow, indeed. When Baddie first came out, I was it's IVE with the song titled Baddie. I said,
we're side-eyeing.
Be fucking for real. But I love, and their baby voice, just, I'm a baddie, but baddie, pretty little risky baddie. It's so fun and good.
I don't like the phrase risky baddie coming from these 15-year-old girls who look 12. But other than that, I can I say I think it's a solid song, and can I tell you why? This is a KDA song. Going back to League of Legends, this is a KDA song.
It sure fucking is.
Is it better than More or Drum Go Dumb or Pop Stars? No, but it is a nice little song. Well, that's fine.
It's a nice little song. I think the music video is the perfect amount of nonsense. Why
is it the plot of Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island?
Because they're bad. They're bad.
An outbreak of cat women all over the world that we're calling baddies. What do you say?
Yeah, because they said we can't go sexy with the baddie. But what if we just went like, oh, cats are sometimes bad, but they're cute. So
I'm surprised. I don't think there's a part in this video where someone like knocks something off of a shelf, like a cat.
No. Instead, their gloves and shoes have little paws on the bottom.
Yeah, and there's a part where a CGI cat pounces on a cashier for no reason.
Yeah, there's a lot of CGI in this one as well. There's a lot of big cats just kind of laying around. There is one scene where I don't think it's intentional because it's like a pink cat on a truck.
I know what you're saying.
It's a pink cat that's like a toy car, so it has a little bottom part that the like battery base sits on, and that's where IVE is at. So like my brain understands that that's kind of what it's supposed to reference. But then the next shot is one of the girls singing through a fuzzy hole, which then makes me think I'm looking through the cat's asshole, and IVE is in there singing.
Right, it's like the cat is it's like a battery operated little thingy, and so it's kind of like its stomach is lying on like a little truck. However, because the back of the truck is like a screen, it did, and also the back of the truck is like sparking, like it's going so fast and so low and whatever. It does look like an iPhone attached to the cat's taint that is grinding against the floor and making sparks.
Yes.
So then the flash to the pink hole really raises some questions.
I feel like maybe we don't think, and I feel like maybe the K-pop executives and I won't blame, not the producers, but the art directors, they're just a little too old. Because they don't see butthole there, but I do. Either way, the music video is a little ridiculous. It's a little foolish. At some point, they do like a wannabe fake summoning circle under the moonlight.
Yes, they were having their little craft moment. And then there's also a part where one of them serves someone else a cake with a pentagram on it.
Again, they couldn't go sexy baddie, so they went, oh, we're bad. As in...
Vague devilry.
Vague devilry. If you can't go sexy, just get a little demonic, but still not.
Mm-hmm.
That's a win for me.
Nice.
That's it. We can now talk about... Oh, I just saw this Heartstale get thrown on here that wasn't here before.
I got reminded.
All right. Before Heartstale, though, there's 17, who came back with 17th Heaven.
Really challenging the lisping bitches among us.
Really making you work for it. And their title track, God of Music. I don't know. I don't know
either.
Well, see, I was being facetious.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was excited to have someone else who didn't know.
That's why I wanted to stop, because I didn't want to perpetuate.
That's very kind of you. You didn't want to take me on a ride I wasn't ready for.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know. I come on here every 17 comeback, and I'm happy.
Overall, with the comeback, I'm happy. But for this title, I'm like, I don't know.
That's fair. For me, it's not a similar song, but the feeling is the same as World.
Oh, yeah. It's a little baby music.
Yeah, loved it. And I like this one a lot. I wasn't 100% sure if I liked it when I first heard it, though. God of Music.
Yeah. I don't, love it, but it has its moments, and I think it's fun. I think Azalea said it sounds like the anime Free opening or ending songs, and I think that's pretty spot on.
Yeah.
I think it's just a little too twee for me. Especially when you get into it, during the first verse, you have a Vernon verse directly followed by S-Coops, and it's just like them listing instruments and making noises a lot. Yeah. And that kind of, it's funny, but it really loses me. And then you go right into a Wanu bit, and I think this song and this concept do not suit Wanu even a little bit. Especially with a group as large as 17. But with any group, some members fit certain concepts better than others. Wanu, Mingyu, and the 8 look like aliens in this music video.
Okay, the 8, 100%.
But that's his haircut. It makes him look more like... I'm saying they look and feel so out of place in this music video to me.
I'd have to watch it again. However, I do really love Wanu in this video. Because he doesn't give much, but seeing him dance around in the ugliest fucking boots and wide cut jeans I've ever seen in a diner and giving so much energy while his face remains what it always is.
Just a slight smirk on it.
Just a slight smirk, not much in the eyes. I thought it was fun.
I like it when Woozy sings with that ant.
Oh yeah, his little duo. The duo high notes with the ant. But oh yeah, this song is... It's sentimental turned up to the fucking max.
It's so cornball.
The song starts with Joshua saying something like, if there's a god of music out there, I want to give you a hug.
Yeah, it's can I say, I don't think the song is bad, but we need to be fair and even with the way that we talk about all groups. We can't give 17 preferential treatment.
Okay, no, you're right. Start us on that course.
this song should be in Trolls World Tour. And we need to be honest about that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
If BTS makes Madagascar ending theme music, then 17 has just made a Trolls song. And that just needs to be acknowledged.
Yeah, and like, objectively speaking, Madagascar music is better than Trolls music.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
So that's not the best thing. But, you know, the rest of the album. How do you feel about the rest of the album if you've listened?
I like that first song a lot, SOS. DK is he's singing in his natural register instead of the super high register that men have to sing in for K-pop, which is like, number one, like, it's a catchy song front to back to begin with. Sungkwan has a great high note that directly leads into DK singing in his natural voice, and he sounds incredible. He sounds like a sexy rock star man all of a sudden.
Like you don't get that much. You don't get that much from DK because they say, "Oh, you can go high, therefore you will stay high."
He halfway does it for one part on Fallen Flower, a Japanese single, and that's
exactly it. I love SOS. I also have to give it up to Monster, which is Hip Hop Unit's song.
That song is so fucking goofy.
It's so fucking goofy. I don't fully understand it because it has nothing but like a Monster Mash Halloween beat. And then Vernon opens it up. Where my goblins? Where my Draculas?
No, not Draculas. Where my Draculas?
Oh, yeah.
Where my Draculas?
Where are they? This is the anthem. Throw your claws up.
And then, is it Wanu's verse where there's just random scream samples put in?
Yes. It's nonsense.
So
and like
trash.
It's nonsense. Is this because the album released in October? Like, is that just a fun little song for October?
It has to be because it's just a week before Halloween. But it's just, especially that part where Wanu's rapping and there's just screams, like horror girl screams intercut into it. It just makes me think of Nicki Minaj on Queen Radio. Who let Nicki have the soundboard? Who let Wanu have the soundboard while he's rapping?
It's really funny.
Foolish song.
The song all the way around is like kind of mid.
But it's funny.
But just it's so funny. It's so funny. But I like the whole album. Like I said, I tend to be pretty forgiving. Well, am I forgiving when it comes to 17, or do I just like their music?
Little column A, little column B.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of meh for me. I think it's a little too twee. Like it's like 15% too twee to where I don't think I want to be listening to it except for SOS.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, I'll see where I end up. SOS is still a pretty daily listen.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see what happens because I do agree. It's a little.
Who knows what could happen in the future?
Who knows what'll happen come December?
Ooh.
Oh, let's get back to the real shit. Video games and K-pop.
I know. Okay, so yeah. I didn't realize... Well, I shouldn't say I didn't realize. While we record, I watch the music videos at the same time. Just, maybe something will refresh my memory. I remember to talk about something, whatever. And because I was watching Gods by NewJeans, I got recommended Paranoia by Heartsteel, which is League of Legends' new boy band. And I was like, oh, I guess we should add that. Mostly just because Baekhyun is there and literally no other reason.
Yeah.
Baekhyun's
in there.
There's no other.
He does the chorus, so
he's
he's a pretty major part of the song.
Yeah, which leads more to the disappointment that we had all heard that ATEEZ was probably going to be working on something with Riot. And it wasn't Worlds, and we were all disappointed. And then Riot officially announced that they were going to be coming out with Heartsteel, which is their boy band, kind of. Not actually, they haven't interacted yet, but acting basically counterpart to KDA being their K-pop girl group, wildly, obscenely successful, pretty much single-handedly launched Soyeon and Giddle's career. Because that came out less than 6 months after they debuted, I think. So yeah, it makes sense to do a boy group. It doesn't make sense to do a single thing that they did for this, and I just kind of wanted to complain about it, and that's why I added it. Because I have an excuse because Baekhyun is here.
Okay.
And that's it.
Well, listen, you are the league player.
I am. Isn't
Go
that
on.
sad? Okay. You can stop me at any point, but I have a list of complaints.
Oh, no, I like a list. Please go.
Okay, number 1. There are, I believe, 6 members of Heartsteel. Would you like to guess how many of them have vocals in this song?
If you're asking me, I know the answer exactly because I've done extensive research to figure out what's going on.
Okay. Who's that?
There are 4 members who have voices, 6 members total. Mm-hmm. So 2 just kind of voiceless people running around in the video.
Mm-hmm. Including Cassante, one of League of Legends' 3 black men that they decided to include in this.
Yes.
Which is just kind of a weird vibe. The thing is, okay, we could speak a lot about video games and animation and the way that they treat women, but one thing that's generally pretty clear is that women tend to fit into like one kind of mold of being very conventionally attractive, whereas male characters tend to be on a higher range of body types, and like they can be like weird monsters and animals and stuff, right? So making KDA is very easy. They could have picked virtually any female characters that were available in League of Legends at the time, and it would have been totally fine. They could have added Jinx, Caitlyn, Vi, Lux, Katarina, Kayle, Morgana. They could have added literally anyone that they wanted, with like 2 exceptions, right? Generally speaking, K-pop men tend to be what you might call twinks. They tend to be tall, lean, muscular men who are very youthful looking. Would you like to guess how many male characters in League of Legends match that criteria?
Well, I've seen Heartsteel, so I'd have to say all of them except maybe a couple, Lotus. They're all twinks in League.
3.
Okay.
And all of them are in this. And then there's another guy who they made look more twinky for this, even though he's kind of like... He's like a 7 foot tall... He has like borderline pyramid head proportions. And they made him like shorter and skinnier and like less muscular so that he fits into this better. And there's Set and Cassante who are big and beefy.
Can I interject something really quick?
Mm-hmm.
I unfortunately do get a lot of K-pop just across all social media. A lot of K-pop opinions that I never ask for. Uh-huh. And the anger that K-pop fans felt when they watched Heartsteel and were lusting after these characters. Lusting. And then went to League to play characters that they want to boink and saw that they weren't twinks. The anger that arose.
Isn't that incredible? The other thing, too, is like, okay, so I've been playing League of Legends at this point for almost 9 years. And I watched the music video not knowing I saw the art, the official art, like album art that they released beforehand, before I'd seen the video and before I knew who was in it. I cannot recognize multiple characters without being told who is who, because they so drastically change how so many of them look. Even the main guy, the twinkiest of all twinks, one of League of Legends' oldest characters, Ezreal, who's voiced by Baekhyun, he has a green mullet, and his clothing is completely different, which, you know, when you have different skins in League, the clothing can change, but usually it'll, like, vaguely stay in, like, a similar silhouette. Ezreal's completely unrecognizable, and it's just weird.
No, they had very specific goals with Heartsteel, I think.
Yeah, and it you know, I'm sure it succeeded or whatever. People are easy to please. Another thing I wanted to bring up is out of the 3 twinks, there's Kane, who's the guy with the voice that sounds cartoonishly deep. Like he makes Felix sound like he's doing a natural voice when we all know that Felix deepens his voice to sound cooler. Mm-hmm. Like it's ridiculous, and the song opens with that. I think it's terrible, but. Then there's Ezreal, who's Baekhyun. Then there's another character called Aphelios, who is twinkety twink, 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 twink in the game. Like pure Bishonen, super duper pretty, like angsty man. Now, Aphelios has this is the guy that drops into the pool, like halfway through the video. Yeah. He has one very notable character trait that is effectively the basis for his entire backstory. Do you want to guess what that is?
is he maybe quiet? Is he a little bit
He's
silent?
Mute.
Okay. Yeah,
because he has been poisoned and cannot speak.
I think I may have gotten that from the video.
It's so strange. Why would you pick him to be in a boy band?
Well, he has his face mask on the whole time, so he can't sing.
Well, it's because he's the only other twink. They were like, oh, we already have to change Yone and Kane's proportions so drastically. We have to bring a Felios. It's so whatever. Also, the song sounds kind of bad, I think.
It's an earworm song. That's about it.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll play fine on like TikTok or whatever. But man, Baekhyun, how wasted to like. Baekhyun speaks some English, but not enough to be forced to do the same verse in English like 4 times in a row. It don't sound great.
It doesn't sound great. I don't think it's really using him to the best of his vocal abilities, but
bring back True Damage. I know that they're not K-pop, but let's get over it and bring back True Damage.
We don't need K-pop.
We don't need K-pop. We already have KDA. Like, you succeeded. Go home. Take the W and leave. But a flop with Gods, a flop with Heartsteel.
This may not be I can't say year. This may not be the quarter for League. This season of League is not good.
This season of League of Legends is not good.
That's why I don't play it.
Is that why?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason?
Yeah. Wow. I said the music, they're not doing the music right, so I can't play it.
After they released Get Jinxed and KDA Pop Stars, I thought about it, but then I heard that Heartsteel song.
KDA came out and I downloaded it right to my computer.
Did you really?
I think at some point. I think like in the early stages of our friendship, I downloaded it so that we could play League together and connect, and I very quickly said, no, we're going to have to find some other way.
And you know what happened? This podcast. There's more video games after this.
Keeping with Overwatch decided that they wanted to get the girls and the gays to play because no one else is. So they sent a text. The fan base is gone. It's dead. So they sent a text over to Sserafim and said, "Hey, are you guys busy?" And Sserafim said, "I mean, no, we're kind of in between shit right now. What's up?" And Overwatch said, Can you make us a song, but like we really want to capitalize on like the dream pop?
Yeah, they sent a text to Source Music and said, "What dirt do you have on Sserafim?" I was thinking this earlier, but I didn't want to mention it till we got here. I wonder if either this song, Sserafim for Overwatch, or NewJeans for League of Legends were influenced like by the other. Like, did one company hear that the other was gonna have this really hype 4th gen girl group for them, and they said, "We got to get on this. We got to get our own." Do you know what I mean?
I hear you. Yeah.
Like not obviously within the release windows, but way down the line, an executive hears that Sserafim is going to be doing something for Overwatch, so let's try even harder to get a good girl group for League of Legends World's Anthem. Like, girl groups have always done well for us. We got to make sure, extra sure to show them up, or like whatever. I doubt League of Legends considers Overwatch competition at this point,
no.
But
Yeah, and like the funny thing is, I'm pretty sure, I know that Sakura has like a whole little gaming YouTube, and I think she has since her AKB days.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Mama plays Overwatch. I think she plays League. On top of like other like games like Splatoon and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunate for Overwatch. But
I'm sure the fans will really like it. I don't know all of the cosmetics that are going to be added. Because just for the record, this isn't just a little song they're doing. This is the Sserafim like event. The skins that are in the music video that the Overwatch character. Okay, I guess I should go back. The music video is some of Sserafim dancing on a stage, and then also like hanging out in the practice studio. Wearing athleisure like they always do, just doing the song and the performances. And the other half of the music video, they're kind of interstitched together, is I think 5 or maybe 6 Overwatch girlies trying to get to the Sserafim concert.
Yeah.
and getting into shenanigans to get there. And all the costumes that the Overwatch girls are wearing are going to be cosmetics in Overwatch. And then there's also other cosmetics like sprays and presumably emote like dances.
Yeah, I saw a little Overwatch character, I think, doing the anti-fragile dance. I don't know if that was in there beforehand.
Okay. They just randomly put it in before they ever spoke to Sserafim. Oh, no, that would be fun. Like, they pull a Dead by Daylight and they just say, yeah, we don't have clearance for this, but it's cool, so we're just going to put it in the game. That, I would love if that were true. I know it's not, but I wish it was. But yeah, it's a dream pop, like, whatever song. It doesn't have anything to do with anything. Which, like, NewJeans God's not a good song, but at least it is, like, about the world championship, not by name, but it's got the vague, like, you need to embrace your power, play God, go against all challengers, like, whatever. This song is called Perfect Night, and it's just like, I'm speeding down the highway because I want to get to you and have fun.
It's literally just, I'm just going out with my girls and maybe I'll see a cute boy there.
Just going out with girls, my girl night.
It's a little girl night. Don't call me, I'm with my girls. I don't understand why this is an Overwatch song. I like it. I just don't understand.
I think it's whatever. It's a fine little song.
So, again, that's why I don't play Overwatch.
I got a lot of reasons for not playing Overwatch nowadays. Like, I gotta say. And you know what? It makes me kind of sad because I really liked playing Overwatch.
Overwatch lost it. They really lost it.
Like 15 times in a row, that's the thing. There was the Hong Kong thing, and I was like, I really love this game. It's one of the only games I can play with all of my friends. But I'm not going to stream about it or talk about it because it feels wrong too. But I already paid for it. I'll still play it a little bit. And then all the sexual abuse allegations on Activision Blizzard came out, and I was like, like it feels bad to play it actually. And then it also stopped being fun at the same time. And then Overwatch 2 came out, and it just got worse.
Yeah. Like
isn't that sad?
No matter where you, like, how you approach video games, whether you're like, oh, I don't care about the company behind it, I'm just here to play the game, or if you are conscious and care about human beings, it doesn't matter which person you are, Overwatch is not going to work out.
Right. You have to be really deep into like the sunk cost fallacy of it all, or really just have, for some reason, no other games you enjoy playing, so you just log on and get mad every night. And that's the unfortunate position that Overwatch finds itself in. So I'm sure they found maybe some more fans and definitely solidified the fandom with the paltry handful of girls and gays that are still left playing this game, despite every indication of the contrary that they should be doing so. So good for them, I guess. The skins are very ugly, can I say?
The skins are very ugly. They barely look like skins, really. They're not doing much. They're
like street clothes, which is sometimes like a fun thing for a video game skin to do. Like if this character wasn't a superhero who like flings fireballs and flies around or whatever, what would they wear? I think that can be fun. But this isn't even that, because Sserafim, as we've spoken about before, has no identifiable style, visually speaking, really. Like they mostly wear athleisure or like kind of vague, like, if I'm being totally honest, like Lululemon, like SHINee clothes, just kind of wearing whatever. Yeah. So the Overwatch girlies just have random stuff on. Basically, all of their hairstyles are different. A lot of them are wearing hoop earrings for reasons that I don't understand. Like, maybe some of the artists heard girl group and they thought, like, oh, like Destiny's Child. Yeah, we'll put hoops and chains on them.
Sure.
Because I don't know why else. Like, why are they wearing giant, like, chola hoops? I don't get it.
I don't know. I think one of the Sserafim girls in the video had on big hoops, but even then...
Big is a strong word.
Well, they're like...
thick.
No. In the video, I think they were like thin, big hoops at one point. Because I said...
Okay, maybe.
Like, my gut instinct was to go, is that right?
I mostly just remember them wearing those little chain earrings.
Yeah, I don't remember what part of it... I do feel like I saw a big thin hoop on Yunjin, maybe.
Okay.
But regardless, I don't know. The skins are... The concept art for the skins is cute.
Ain't that the fucking story with Overwatch? Well, the concept art looks really cool.
The concept art is nice. But the characters look a fucking mess. So, I don't...
Also, Sombra is there randomly.
Yeah, in the video, she's like, she's the baddie, you know? They forgot their tickets. Oh, but guess what? She has hers.
Because but she's a little mean about it, so that's why it's
she's
bad.
a little mean about it.
She gives her ticket to the slave robot, and so she's chill.
Okay, so with that, I think we could move on to the final song. Mm-hmm. I think that's
what I wanted to say.
I think that's a good segue into just stopping. No, we'll talk about Riize because we talked about Riize last month and they came out with another song this month. So why don't we
just
talk
singles,
about
right?
it?
These aren't like leading up to an EP.
So their last month's song.
That was their official debut.
That was their debut.
It was just a single and a B-side.
It was, yeah, and then this is just a single. I'm sure all of these songs will be found on a mini album like 2 months from now. Mm-hmm. But they put out Talk Saxy, and it may just be one of the worst songs I've heard in a very long time.
I was wondering why you wanted to put this on today. It's I don't know. I have no words. There's a sample in there somewhere with that saxophone that I cannot place for the life of me. I know exactly what you're talking about. But the song sounds so fucking similar all throughout. They don't sound good on it. It's such a strange thing. And the fact that they do specifically say talk saxy. Criminal. Yeah, this is like a Nugu boy group kind of song. Like this is like a bad Golden Child song. This is a song that Gravity would have made before they started making good music. Yeah. And you know what? Maybe that's it. We're missing the point of the song. Maybe SM does want to start off a boy group kind of with the normal ups and downs of a boy group. They want to humble them. They want to humble them before, they say, hey, we're SM, but we're going to treat you like you're coming from Cube. Are you implying that Riize is the Shrek of SM? The Shrek? I love this story. DreamWorks Animation created the film Shrek. You know this. Oh, yes. Okay. And I thought you meant like in terms of quality. No. At the same time, for the people playing at home, at the same time concurrently that they were making Shrek, they were making The Prince of Egypt. And The Prince of Egypt, one of the best animated films ever made, 2D animation, very, very fancy, super dramatic, really intense. Everybody knew that it was going to be a hit at DreamWorks. Shrek, not so much. And so allegedly at DreamWorks at the time, if you misbehaved or you pissed off the wrong person or if you weren't performing well, you got taken off The Prince of Egypt and put on Shrek. Mm-hmm. So I think they're hoping for a Shrek kind of situation. I mean, 2 NCT boys did get taken off of NCT and put on Riize. That's exactly what I'm saying. They're saying you need to be humbled and hopefully you will make the Shrek of K-pop, which is a great film. They could be well onto their way, because, I mean, this song has 21 million views. Who are we? A dissenting opinion in the K-pop industry? As always, and we will continue to do so. It's not even like we're purposefully contrarian, especially because we agree on a lot of things. But a little bit of free thought on occasion. It's good for the soul, I think. Mm-hmm. Okay. Is that it? That's it. Like I said at the start of this episode, there are a lot of songs that came out in October. But we won't talk about them. We just don't really have anything to say. A lot of them are just fine. Or they're just whatever. I can give like a few, you know what, for the listeners. Mm-hmm. I'll give like a one sentence for a few interesting ones.
Pentagon came out with the song. It's their death song.
Mm-hmm.
There was
Swan
that.
song.
Swan Song, that's what it's called. Kingdom came out with the song, and I do believe they are officially done with the whole Seven Kingdoms thing, unless they decide to do another round of it.
Part 2, baby.
They came out, this was Jahan's album, and when it was initially revealed, they did have to release an apology, and they had to...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They had to release an apology and redesign the album because they designed it to look like the Quran. Oof.
Which is still such, like, why would you do that?
That's not good. So they
should need to tell you. Someone should need to tell you that.
Hey, someone shouldn't have needed to tell them, hey guys, this whole
that
idea...
That is a holy book.
This whole idea is going to go bad the second we step out of East Asia. Just the group itself. The second we leave East Asia, we're going to have problems.
Yeah, absolutely. The second you leave Korea, you're going to have problems. Honestly, even in Korea, you might have problems because historical figures can get very complicated.
Uh-huh. So there was Kingdom, and then Taemin had his little song out. He got out of the military, lost the 10 pounds he gained, and went straight back to repressed, childlike, vague homoeroticism. Mm-hmm. So he's just doing what he does.
He was watching only one of music videos in the fucking military slammer. Because that had a sabor to it.
Oh, didn't it? And like not even, can I say, not even like the good.
No.
He took it back to libido that had everyone going, is this okay?
It was libido with like a little flavor of, but I'm a cheerleader in it. Weirdly.
Yes.
But like not in the fun camp way. It was just like, are we like conversion camp? Where am I?
It felt like conversion camp. It was just bunks full of boys, but then one person in there I do think was just a girl with a short haircut.
Randomly someone who was just androgynous enough that whichever kind of fan of Taemin you are, you could probably be happy that that's the person he's chosen to gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss in a relationship.
Uh-huh. It's...
Woo!
That was October.
Goodbye, October.
Goodbye, October. Coming up, we have November, and, that's when all of the groups scramble to get a song out before Chaos releases their end of the year podcast.
They scrambled again before that November 30th deadline.
You got till November 30th. After that, we don't listen to music.
And honestly, if you come in on like a November 28th, 26th, we might forget. So you're in the danger zone if you're in that like 5-day period before the end of the month. That happened to P1 Harmony last year. Sorry, guys.
Because that sure would have been in my top 25.
Yeah, me too. Shout outs to Back Down by P1 Harmony. I think we talked about this before, but it's still funny to me.
It's such a good song. And then the like collective realization that, this very well could have been in top 25. Sorry. But I've had fun. I hope you've had fun, Lotus. I hope everybody listening has had fun.
A thin little episode this month.
At this point, I think this may just be the length of our episodes.
Now, don't say that, because not only do we have the year-end one to do, which routinely hits at least 2 hours, but there have been 12 songs to talk about each time maximum.
That's true. End of the year, I don't even count, because that's always going to be long.
I guess that's fair.
Not just because we are each doing 25 songs, but there's 3 people talking. It's going to be long. But that was Chaos for October. I forget how I end these things. If you want to find me anywhere, for now, you can find me at Karanades. Twitch, YouTube, co-host. It won't be true soon. So, you'll know when I know. And Lotus, where can we find you?
You can find me at Lotus Loves Lotus pretty much anywhere, although I am really only active on Twitch, YouTube, and co-host. You can also find me on co-host at Just Lotus. I have 2 accounts there because it's easy to have 2 accounts, and I feel like it.
Easy.
That's
all, folks.
That's all, folks. Okay, let's get out of here.
See ya.
Bye.